Hey, good morning, y'all. Hopefully you're having a rad Friday. Today I wanted to talk about an article that I saw. It is on thewashingtonpost.com, and the title is "It's Just Not What People Want Anymore. Subway to Close Hundreds of U.S. Stores." This is very, very important and very, very interesting. I know as a child, I used to love Subway, and a lot of people call it Frankenmeat. I used to get the cold cuts, the Italian. I used to go to Subway a lot as a kid, especially in junior high. And this tells me right here, when Subway is closing hundreds of U.S. stores, that means, people are speaking with their mind and speaking with their dollar, and they're aware that that steak is fake steak, that chicken is fake chicken, that pastrami is fake pastrami, that bologna is fake bologna, those meatballs are fake meatballs, that they're all from factory farm and they really are not healthy. Especially with the breads and all of that. And, they were really, really good at marketing, in my opinion, in the late 80s, in the mid 90s with Jared, because you have like the vegetables and you can kind of put whatever you want on your sub sandwich. And they marketed brilliantly on how healthy Subway is. But if you think about it, not only, the Frankenmeats that are fake meats and really encourage and promote factory farming, but you're putting all those sauces on there, which are all oils. And so, in my opinion, Subway is just not healthy at all. And when, they have to close hundreds of their stores, it's because there's competition and there's awareness that is going on. And so I'm going to read this article. So it says... The title says, Subway, the world's largest restaurant chain. Keep in mind, it's the world's largest restaurant chain, says it plans to close about 500 U.S. stores this year as it opens up 1,000 locations worldwide. Very interesting there. So they're going to open up stores in India. Very interesting there. So, they're going to close 500 stores in the U.S., but they're going to open up 1,000 worldwide. That awareness, not everybody has internet. Not everybody has access to information, especially about health and fitness, like, we do here in America. So I'm just going to keep rapping here. And if you all enjoy Subway, if you all eat Subway, what's your favorite order? I know they have 5 secret menu items that a lot of people don't know about. Kind of like In-N-Out, like animal style. Subway has 5 secret orders. So if you enjoy Subway, what do you put on there? Good morning, Tanya. Good morning, Tammy. And the breads, right? They have like 8 different breads. And I know my buddy Scotty Bob, when I was in junior high, used to work there. And the breads start out like this big, and they put them in the oven. And can you imagine? I guarantee you there's at least 50 ingredients in each one of those breads. And it can't be too pleasant on the tummy. So I'm going to continue to read. Again, this is at WashingtonPost.com. So it says, Subway restaurants, home of the ubiquitous 5-foot-long, plans to shutter hundreds of its U.S. stores as consumers lose their appetite for lunch meats. Lunch meats, we're talking the bologna in the grocery stores, the hams, the turkeys, all of that stuff. That's interesting. Now this makes me want to go down the rabbit hole on to see, if the delis at the Piggly Wigglies, the Albertsons, the Fry's, the Whole Foods, if those sales are going down, if sales of meat in general are going down. So I'm going to look into that. It says the world's largest restaurant chain says it will close about 500 of its 26,000 locations nationwide this year. So what is that? That's really not that good. What is that? 5% or less? That's still a big piece of business that they're going to be, losing out on. And I'm almost certain that they're going to rebrand themselves and say, hey, look, we're going to sell this, we're going to sell that. How rad would it be if Subway ninja flips into, offering juice bars, right? Wouldn't that be really cool? If like you can get a sub, but here's a really good green juice, or here's a watermelon juice, or here's a cucumber lemon juice. That would be really rad and really, really smart. So it says, last year Subway closed more than 800 stores. So within, 365 days, that's 1,300 stores. That is more than 5% of their stores that have closed, that will close. So it says, Subway which has almost as many US locations as McDonald's and Starbucks combined. Who knew that? I did not know that. And if you think about it, you know, when I was on my Yummy Nastiness tour, you know, depending on your zip code and where you're at, you can get your Yummy Nastiness fix on every corner. You know, there's the chicken place. If it's Church's Chicken, if it's Zaxby's, it's KFC. You got McDonald's, Subways. I do see a lot of Subways. You know, Subways do not have a drive-thru. You got to go in there and order it, and they're normally in, you know, store locations. They don't have their own corner store. So 2,600 locations, y'all. That's more than Subway and Mickey D's combined. So it says Subway, which is struggling to keep up with the growing competition and changing consumer taste. Real food, right? That Frankenmeat ain't cutting it, y'all. That Frankenmeat is not cutting it. You can't put that pink slime, you know, in a sandwich and say, hey, this is it tastes good, but we know it's full of preservatives, colorants, nitrates, stuff that causes cancer. You know what I'm saying? And so that's a perfect statement right there. It's struggling to keep up with the growing competition and changing consumer tastes. While its Eat Fresh motto may have won over health-conscious consumers a decade or two ago, analysts say that the diners are increasingly looking for locally sourced produce and hormone-free meat, often served up by regional startups like Sweetgreen. I've never heard of Sweetgreen. Have you heard of Sweetgreen? But boom. Exactly, right? The factory farming, the hormones that they put into these animals, you know, the abuse that they put into these animals. So even just the awareness of that, not even the healthy part of it, but the awareness to say, hey, factory farming, you know, polluting the environment, you know, that's amazing. I love that. You know, they should team up with Beyond Meat, right? You know, which are a plant-based, you know, company where they've got sausages, they've got bacons, you know, they've got burgers, you know. I love this stuff because, you know, if the consumers are speaking, they're going to go out of business, right? So the more that you can speak with your dollar in your mind, the more it is better for human population, in my opinion. So let's keep playing. Hello, Amanda. She says, every Walmart around me has one. I've seen a few Subways and Walmart, specifically on the West Coast of the United States. I see a lot of Mickey D's. A lot of Mickey D's and Walmarts. So it says, chains like Panera, Auburn Pain, which I don't know, I've heard of Panera, but I haven't heard of Auburn Pain, and Firehouse Subs. I have been to a Firehouse Subs, and it was way better than Subway. Have also eaten up part of Subway's marketing by offering a range of customizable meals. Meanwhile, fast food giants like McDonald's, which recently bought back its dollar menu, offer cheap alternatives to Subway's signature subs. So it says, we aren't eating the way we used to. Double duh. It says, the luncheon meats are just not what people are clamoring for, said Bob Phibbs, chief executive of the Retail Doctor, a New York-based consultancy. He says, let's face it, if you're in a major metropolitan area, you're looking for that green salad place. You're not saying, let's all go to Subway and order that sneeze guard. Very, very true, you know, and it just shows you how powerful marketing was in, you know, the late 80s and 90s with Jared and, you know, eat a foot long, you know, for $5, you know, and lose all this weight for calories and calories. I mean, are you even getting any essential fats when you go to Subway? You're just getting oils and gluten, right? And Frankenmeat, if you look at it. You know, I mean, do they even offer avocados? And if they offer avocados, if they offer a guac, I mean, what's in that? So, you know, and then you get like a big bag of chips, right? Salty chips, Lay's chips, Doritos, Sun chips, and then you get a big old soda. I mean, you're best just having a watermelon. You know what I'm saying? And so people are finding that out. People are like, no way, Jose. All right, so let's keep playing. So it says, adding to Subway's woes is a long history of strained relationships with its thousands of franchisees who complain that the company's deep promotions are nibbling away at already shrinking profits. All of Subway's 44,000 locations worldwide are independently owned. Wow. So all of the locations are all franchisees, and they've got 44,000 around the world. They've got 26,000 in the U.S. What is that, 16? So they've got 6,000 more locations in the U.S. than they do 20,000 worldwide. And they're all franchisee owned. And, you know, just think of the profits that they're making even at a low price point, just because they're not selling real food. They're basically selling caca, not healthy food. And so when you get a sub for $5-6, and I mean, the price point on that little bread is maybe 3 cents, you know what I mean? And then a bunch of sauces, which they buy in bulk, and then a bunch of non-organic, sprayed with pesticides, lettuce, pickles, tomatoes, and they're really not high quality, you know what I'm saying? So even at that price point, they're still making, probably a lot of money, but I guess not enough for the franchisees. So let's keep going. So it says sales have fallen for at least 3 years in a row, and foot traffic is down 25% since 2012. This all makes sense, y'all. It all makes sense to me. So it says this is a tired company and a major need of a major brand renovation. I agree. Remember what happened to Jared? He was accused of, I believe, child pornography, and he's the sales pitch man, and he was found guilty. Who knows if he was, innocent or guilty or whatever. If he was guilty, I'm glad that, he was in prison. But when you throw all your marketing dollars, at that guy Jared, and then he gets, found out that he gets guilty of child molestation, and then he gains more weight back, and then you're selling fake food. So I get it. So it says, walk into any Subway and everything looks exactly the same as it did 25 years ago. That is a really good point. That means they're not innovating. They're not changing up. They're not listening to the masses. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Look at the soda pop industry or the pop industry, right? They try the diet soda, which is my opinion, and I think it's proven that it's even unhealthier. Then what they do, the Coke, the Pepsis, the Gatorades, they start buying water companies, Smart Water, right? And a lot of the times the water is more expensive than these sugary drinks. If you go to the gas station and buy a bottle of water and buy a gallon of gas, and the water is more expensive. And so I think that's going to be the next major shift is, I think everybody needs to get solar panels and everybody needs to drill their own water well. You know what I'm saying? Because water is I think water is going to be worth more than gold here in the next 30, 40 years. So it says, Subway founded 53 years ago in Bridgeport, Connecticut as Pete's Super Submarines. I like that name way more than Subway. So Subway used to be called Pete's Super Submarines, has expanded rapidly in the decades since, opening thousands of new locations in strip centers and suburban shopping malls. It earned a loyal following by pitching itself as a healthful alternative to fatty burgers and fries. All of that stuff, in my opinion, is yummy nastiness. It really depends on, what you're eating. Are you comparing Subway to, Whataburger? Are you comparing Subway to Steak and Shake? I tell you what, I would rather eat Steak and Shake way more than Subway, because Steak and Shake, I had Steak and Shake for the first time last weekend at my Yummy Nastiness tour, and I just think it's way healthier. Yeah, you're eating, a burger and it's grilled, you're eating French fries. But I just think if you break down the macros compared to any other Subways, you're just eating sauces and Franken's meat. So, let's keep going. So it says, but in recent years, the company's recipe for success has faltered. In 2015, former spokesman Jared Fogle, who rose to fame after losing more than 200 pounds by eating Subway sandwiches. Hold on real quick. Now, did he really? Because I've owned a very successful marketing company, and sometimes, or a lot of the times, marketing is kind of misleading. So who knows if Jared Fogle, ate, a Subway sandwich once, twice, 3 times, a day. Maybe he was on medication. Maybe he just, started working out. But who rose to fame after losing more than 200 pounds by eating Subway sandwiches, pleaded guilty to charges of child pornography and child molestation. That's horrible. I didn't know about the molestation. That's horrible. If that is true, again, and he was found guilty and he pleaded guilty, if that's true, I have no sympathy for that at all. I think he should stay in prison. As a matter of fact, a lot of times I think, I'm not going to go there. That's not part of the video. So, as an ever-expanding selection of fast casual eateries, food trucks, and even grocery stores offer freshly made meals at competitive prices. So let's keep wrapping. Earlier this year, Subway invested $25 million in rebranding campaign aimed at boosting sales at its stores. The company's newest ads, meant to appeal to a younger consumer, are part of the company's aggressive revitalization plan. So they're looking at the millennials, y'all. Now, guess what the millennials have? Guess what the younger generation have? A computer, which is their phone in their pocket. You know what I'm saying? And then when you got Amazon Go, you got Amazon Fresh, you got local markets. You've got, you can grow your own food, which you can do it for hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years. But a lot of people, in my opinion, I think misgeneralize or underestimate the younger youth. My daughter's 13 years old, and I listen to her, I listen to the friends, and I read a lot. The youth are a lot smarter than what you think, y'all. You know why? Because they're tapped in. They basically have Encyclopedia Britannicas all in their pocket. You know what I'm saying? So they're more tapped in. They have access to data. And when you have access to data, you can learn whatever it is about. If you want to learn about health, if you want to learn about art, if you want to learn about technology, you can learn about that. And so when they're going to try to aggressively market against the younger generation, they might not be as aware as what we want them to be, but in my opinion, they're much more aware, much more tapped in to information than when we were 10 years ago, 20 years ago, or 30 years ago. So to mislead them with marketing and try to market Subway with the oils, the Franken meats, the carbs and the breads, it just isn't going to fly. So they invested $25 million for basically, a marketing reset. It says Subway is focusing on building up its international presence by opening 1,000 stores in countries like India, China, Germany, and Mexico. But industry insiders say that while Subway may be able to successfully expand abroad, it is, after all, a well-known American brand. It doesn't have an easy road ahead at home. Lastly, it says, I don't think there's a clear path for Subway, says Phillips, the retail consultant. It's just not what people want anymore. I couldn't agree more. I'm so glad I read that article. What do y'all think? Do you like Subway? Do your family and friends like Subway? What's your favorite order? What do you go there and order? Do you feel good when you order it? Do you think maybe I should have not had Subway, maybe I should have went and tried a different yummy nastiness, maybe I could have went to a different one like Firehouse Subs? Let me know. So hello Christine, hello Dory, hello Kelly Bonavito, hello sweetie. She says, that's true, I have two millennials, they know about more things than I do. They're tapped in, right? Their attention span might be a little bit less, but if they're tapped into their passion and they're learning on their phone, it's like a good mix. Too much of anything is too much. And so, that's going to be interesting. In my opinion, I think Subway's done. I love this stuff because there's so many. I'm going to do 3 videos today, y'all. There's so much disruption right now in the world. And in my opinion, a lot of it is very positive. In 2018, right now, we are living in the future. It's not like the Jetsons yet. We don't have flying cars, mass flying cars and all of that stuff. But I truly believe that the mass amount of disruption is for the positive. I believe there's going to be a lot of somewhat anarchy and there's going to be a lot of stuff happening this year in America specifically. There's going to be a lot of disruption, there's going to be a lot of chaos, but I think once that's done, I think humankind is going to be better. I think we're going to break down borders. I think we're going to get, hopefully get rid of all of this nuclear weapons that we have and realize that, we're all brothers and sisters. And I think it's to the point where with AI is that there's not going to be as many jobs as we all think that there needs to be. And I think our awareness can raise, our health can raise, the stress level will minimize. I think in a lot of countries that humans, if you're a human, if you have a breath, if you have a heart, if you have feelings, you'll get paid, and it won't be called Medicare, it won't be called food stamps, and you won't be looked down upon. We won't have to be jammed in our cubicles. I think we're going to use technology to help the world to be a better place where we can all, maybe meditate more, maybe get sleep more, maybe go outside and get grounded more, you know what I'm saying? Maybe take time when we eat, maybe tend to our gardens, tend to our hearts, tend to our loved ones, rather than this rat race of continual working 40, 50, 60 hours a week, not even doing what you want to do, stressed out and all that stuff, which can lead to disease. And so I believe these technologies, this information in all of these little genres and all of these little arenas is good. There is going to be some chaos, especially when it comes to money, y'all. And you have heard me rap, money is going to be disrupted very, very soon with the blockchain. And a lot of people don't understand it. I'm 100% telling you money is going to be disrupted. And what rules the world in a lot of people's eyes is money. And when you take your money back, when the people take their money back on the blockchain, which is digital currency, and you get rid of Wells Fargo, and you get rid of Chase Bank, and you get rid of all these things, things are going to change. And who's going to have the power? The people are going to have the power, not the politicians, the people. And so this right here is just a little example of that, what data can do, what information can do, what people can do when they're aware of, like, hey, I don't want to eat that yummy nastiness. There's way better alternatives out there. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, I'll answer some as I can. Hello, Mitch Shares. She says, there is a way to produce your own water using a water distillation machine. I've seen a few of them. Go join our group at Radiculously Rawthentic on Facebook and let us know. Hello, Amanda. Mitch Shares says, definitely, we have the power to research via the internet and books. Boom, you're right. Tammy says, disease is dis-ease. Very, very true. Kelly says, I don't understand cryptocurrency at all. Confusing to me. I have a marketing group called Radiculously Rawthentic marketing group. It's only $300 one-time thing, and I rap in there and I talk about it. It's not even just about marketing, it's about technology, about my other passions. It's really not confusing once you understand it, and you, as you look, you're seeing all these things with technology happening, and I'm so deep into it. I could be in other spaces. I could be making a lot of money doing other consultations and working for big companies. It just doesn't interest me anymore. Why? Because I'm healing myself. I don't want to play the money game. I don't want to play the big business game. I don't want to play the rat race game. I have a lot of hurt. I have a lot of pain. I have a lot of disease from neglect and drug use and really, really bad relationships. And so I made it a point 2 years ago to say, hey, I'm done with that. I'm going to focus on me, mend my garden so the butterflies come. And that's why I created Optimal Reset. That's why I created Radiculously Rawthentic. So I can serve you like I'm doing now, because it's all about educating each other, sharing with each other, and being ahead of the curve so we can live a more peaceful life. So if you like this video, pretty pleased with the cherry on top, share it. And I'm doing 2 more videos today. One's gonna be a fun one. Actually, I'm gonna do 3 more videos today. One's gonna be a real fun one, kind of like playful one, and then I'm gonna bring the heat on 2 more. Thank you for joining me, y'all. It is Physical Friday. Get out there, go do some cartwheels. Go do a love spin boom like this. Remember, love spin booms. Every time you do one, whatever's in your gut, whatever's in your mind, whatever's bothering you, just release it and you'll burn 900 calories, okay? Love spin boom. Boom. Boom! Get out there and play, y'all. Stay away from that subway. It does not do a body good. What?